Hello and welcome to IndiaPostLive.com, India's first live and interactive news conversation web TV. I'm Prachi Jatanya. It's interesting to see the meteoric rise of Smriti Irani, from somebody who contested a beauty pageant as a finalist in the Femina Miss India to now a cabinet rank minister, the HRD minister of the Narendra Modi led government. It's been a huge rise and we'll try and get you a detailed profile of who Smriti Irani is. Take a look.
HRD Minister Smriti Irani is one politician who has had a meteoric rise. She jumped into politics in 2003, soon after becoming a popular TV star. She contested two Lok Sabha elections and lost both. First, to heavyweight Congress candidate Kapil Sibal in 2004 from Delhi, and then to Rahul Gandhi from Amethi in 2014. While most of the BJP leaders were busy choosing which side of the fence they were on, Smriti Irani was pretty clear, and she chose to side with Narendra Modi early on, right from 2012 onwards. And she was rewarded when she was handpicked by Prime Minister Narendra Modi over others to head a key ministry like HRD. So what makes this favourite Bahu survive and rise in the hurly-burly of the political milieu of BJP?
From India's and television soap opera's most favourite Bahu to now a national level leader and the HRD minister. We'll get you some detailed analysis of her rise and the journey of Smriti Irani to the top ranks of the BJP. To give us more perspective and insight on this topic, joining us at the conversation is senior journalist Mr. Ashok Wankhede. Thank you so much for joining us in the studio. And Dr. Ijaz Ilmi, who's a national member of the BJP. We'll also have some interesting guests joining us on Google Hangout and Skype. We'll to get some more details, but I'll come to you, Ashokji. Tell me, what do you think about her journey that we've seen? She used to be working for McDonald's to try and make some money while she was, trying to look for an acting career, to now actually a cabinet rank minister.
That is what Indian politics is. In Indian politics, we don't have any education qualification. We don't need to have. And if you are really a material worth representing people, if you have got that leadership quality, it may be with somebody who is auto driver. I know a number of MPs. So some of them, they were auto drivers. They rose to they represented the house for two terms, 10 years. Some of them, they were farmers. They came to the house. So she's coming from this thing. And the other thing, what I liked about her, she's contesting election, maybe losing it. But not like other member of parliament, just taking a Rajya Sabha route and just cashing on the glamour. As far as the Smriti is concerned, I find some qualities of a politician in her. Her memory is strong, because when I toured Amethi this time for one of the shows of a channel, there I could see the way she has worked hard in Amethi. Means had it been few months earlier, it would have been really difficult for Rahul. And even today also, the Azaz will definitely be accepting the fact after her entering into Amethi's politics, things were so hot up that Priyanka had put in a lot of efforts to make sure the Rahul Gandhi wins the election. Right. So that is Smriti Irani. It is not just because of the glamour. Because she always said that, at one point we had a discussion also, she said that because of that Tulsi image, I could get some good mileage. But at the same time I told her, then you are always shouting there is no electricity in Amethi. So if there is no power in Amethi, how the people are going to go for your shows? Right. Definitely the television will not work. But in long run, the BJP in Amethi
worked for her. There was a fire to the
entire campaign. So her becoming minister can be debatable. We can debate on that. But she being a political leader, I think let us accept it, because once you talk to her, you find some qualities of a good politician in her too.
Dr. Ijaz, but to see her journey as a political leader, she's joined the BJP in 2003. By 2010, she's made the national president of the Women's Youth Wing. So it's a completely meteoric rise, and a lot of critics and people within the party also were completely aghast or taken aback by this sudden rise of somebody who came from a television background and acting background to, suddenly getting that kind of political platform.
You know, actually, it's called primus inter pares, first among equals. The BJP definitely has a mechanism where you not only identify but you nurture special talent. And once you identify, you see the tenacity of the person. You know, unlike Congress, which showed a lot of apathy, Smriti clearly has the empathy and she empathizes with the cause, espousal of various causes. Even in Amethi, she exposed what should have been a super constituency under the Gandhis. I mean, the lackluster all-round development, she completely exposed and put the ruling party, the UPA, on the back foot. So her ability to get into issues, the tenacity to stay there, the capacity to deliver, and to be seen and communicate effectively, that these are very special requirements of a politician, and she has some of these, which is why I think that the BJP has done very well, because you require a lot of new faces in terms of women empowerment, women leaders. She definitely fits the bill.
Right.
No, but I have a objection. The glamour part was much a bigger share in the rise of Smriti. Otherwise, as far as the leadership quality is concerned, the hard work for the party is concerned, and the face of the party is concerned, I think my friend stands a better chance. He's a better candidate compared to Smriti. It comes to politics.
You being very charitable, she's done a lot of hard work.
No, it's not a charitable.
Party.
See,
she contests elections. And the fact
question what charities. Now, if I ask 10 BJP people what exactly charities this Smriti has done, they may not be knowing.
And
there are thousands of people doing charity.
Exactly.
Her glamour has definitely played the party. If the other parts which you are talking of, other qualities, I think those qualities are more in you than Smriti. But again, you are not even contested. You failed to contest the election also. BJP failed to file a single Muslim candidate in UP. So they were saying that there is a winnability is a problem. When they talk off the record, they say the winnability. But I find him, you put him, even I take a challenge. BJP should, I take a guarantee, you put him to contest from any place and he will win.
Ashokji,
because that qualities he has.
Not just Dr. Ilmi, there are so many other faces
since
in
he
the
is here,
BJP
since he is here.
At a senior level.
You have to win your spurs within the party, then you have to work within the party, and you have to be working for the cause and identifying with the issues that the party identifies with. And there are a whole lot of workers who work.
Everybody, I know.
People with special talents.
There are a lot of females really working hard for the party.
Right.
They are toiling for the party. But why only Smriti?
Right.
That's what I said. The glamour qualities,
right.
glamour push is always there.
Let's get Shehzad Poonawalla also joining us on Skype from Delhi. He's Congress representative. He will be telling us what he thinks about Smriti Irani's sudden and meteoric rise in the BJP. Shehzad, thank you so much for joining us on the conversation at India Post Live.
Thank you for having me. First of all, I have never seen somebody who's lost 2 Lok Sabha elections being celebrated so much. Nonetheless, that's the prerogative of the BJP to promote her, to make her minister, to give her all kinds of organizational posts. We have absolutely nothing to say on that. Frankly, the appreciable part about Smriti would be the fact that she comes from a very humble background. She worked in a McDonald's. She's an artist at heart. She started off her career as modeling and acting. And today she's a very successful politician, perhaps because of the support of Mr. Modi. That's a great thing. But my concerns are a little different. See, I'm not bothered about the fact that a partly educated person is the HRD minister of this country. I mean, as Ashok has said, there have been lesser educated people who've held up higher posts in this country. But my problem is that should a minister be a part-time minister? Now, what I have been reading is that the other day when she went to Himachal, she actually has some shooting assignments for a movie called All Is Well.
Yes.
So, is that the kind of minister I want who can't pay full attention to the ministry? And HRD is not a small ministry. It's a very, very insightful. It requires a lot of intellectual insight. It requires a lot of hands-on approach. Let's not go back to the past 10 years and say that, oh, but what did your ministers do? Today we have a minister who needs to take the educational reforms forward. We need to take right to education forward. We need to take school programs forward. Now, can you tell me that she herself is a college dropout? How will she encourage students to continue in college? Because remaining in college programs are one of the most important programs of the ministry. How does she inspire them? I'm not making accusations about her educational background again or her humble background. I appreciate that. But sometimes you need the right person for the right job. And I'm just wondering, is she? You see the influences of the RSS has already begun in her ministry. A joint secretary has had to leave because of Mr. Joshi's influence. You're seeing changes being made to NCTE. You're hearing of saffronization of textbooks in 8th, 9th and 10th standard textbooks. So if she is such a lightweight minister, even though she's a heavyweight politician, what will happen is the influence of RSS will kind of overrun her, and she will not be in charge of the ministry. Is that the reason why they actually made her minister? Because she won't be in charge.
Right.
Now, there is a point. 2-3 things you have spoken. Well taken. Now, the problem is that appointing a minister who has lost 2 elections, I think the idea comes from a Congress. Shivraj Patil lost the election, immediately was made a home minister, and in the same year, the late Vilasrao Deshmukh lost the Vidhan Sabha election and was made a chief minister of the Maharashtra. So losing election and becoming minister is all what Congress has gifted to this nation. So if Modi is copying Congress, nothing doing wrong. Already you have been blaming him for copying the entire manifesto. So nothing wrong in taking few ideas. Now another thing, like if she is not even a matriculate, well taken. But we had defense ministers who never knew the difference between the gun and the rifle. But they led the nation. We have won the war when they were the defense minister. We need to make sure that you get the work done from the people. Smriti Irani don't have to go to the class and teach the people. She has to make sure that the teacher teaches well and the education reforms are being taken well. There are a team of bureaucrats working under her. And as far as saffronization is concerned, dear friend, 283 will give him a free hand. So it is a Congress who has given a free hand to Modi for saffronizing this country. So blame is on you, not on Modi. Modi never said that he is not going to saffronize it.
Ashok has actually defended the BJP even better than the BJP.
No, it's not a question of defending BJP. I am saying I'm against the saffronization of the textbook. But who gave them a chance? 283.
Let's get Dr. Ilmi's response. Let's get Dr. Ilmi's response.
Shehzad.
Actually, they've gone on to another subject, which is not my issue.
Shehzad.
I'm saying that we need a full-time minister. I can't have a part-time minister.
No.
And just having a bureaucracy doesn't make her...
I asked her this question. She says nobody was knowing who was going to be the minister, and that was the fact. Most of the names we floated on channel, they failed. Some name crept up. So she was also not sure. So she had already assigned old assignments. She is completed. But after her becoming a minister, I don't think that she has signed any ad film or any other film. And she will not do for the 5 years. So that accommodation of changing of a role has to be given chance. Even tomorrow you are running a restaurant and all of a sudden you become a minister. At least for few days, 1 or 2 months, you will go and settle things there and then be a good minister.
Yes, let's get Dr.
Look at what Shehzad has said. He's talked about impending saffronization or this allegation of the euphemism that saffronization of education is around. But I guess these are just innuendos and salacious situations. If there are changes within the NCTE, or you have Mr. Jagmohan Singh Raju, who was stalling procedure, and members of parliament are writing to the minister that his role needs to be looked into. One needs to be proactive. Please judge Smriti Irani as a HRD minister with the capacity to deliver on the mandate that she's got and the trust imposed on her by Mr. Modi and the BJP party. It's very important to understand that if you start tripling a minister on every step she takes and start questioning, it's better to have a minister who has the capacity to deliver than somebody who does politics all the time with the ministry. I've seen a lot of Congress ministers who've been important ministers, but they couldn't get over doing politics, local politics, appointment politics, all kinds of politics. You need somebody who's sitting in the chair, has the empathy to deliver and actually act on the mandate. It's pointless doing politics all the time while sitting as a minister. These are very important things, and that's the change.
Dear friend, the ministers are politicians.
Yes.
Whether they are working under Modi, under Sushma Swaraj, or under whoever it is.
Absolutely, yes.
They are going to be in politics. They will do the politics. Forget about that. They will not do the politics. And another thing.
There's no question.
Another thing. You have put a very right question,
yes.
Very right note, saying that let her work. That's what we wanted BJP to let the parliament continue. You didn't allow last 4 sessions to continue. That entire nation was saying, let the house continue, let the nation, this business happen. You didn't allow because it was your right. You always said it is the government's job to run the house. Now, it is the BJP's responsibility to run the minister. Being opposition party, Congress will definitely raise the objections, and that is their valid right.
No,
So,
you can
so
raise objections.
you
You welcome all criticism.
That's what he's being. That's
all
what is being.
criticism is welcome, but please judge a person by the capacity to deliver, and you have to understand that you are welcome to criticize.
No,
You're
no.
welcome to have innuendos, salacious talk. All that is fine, but please judge a minister, every minister, by the performance.
Shehzad, I believe that you want to know why is her appointment so controversial. The fact that her journey, there are so many other potential candidates who could have possibly been HRD minister. It's her journey that a sudden name.
No. This is not my objection. See, if Mr. Modi wanted to make X, Y, Z, or he wanted to make even Ejaz HRD minister, it's not my problem. That's his prerogative. He has the mandate. He can make anybody the prime minister. He can make anybody the home minister. He can make anybody the HRD minister. My only issue is this: that one, you have had a case where the country has two affidavits where she's not been honest or has been less than honest, and she's not clarifying about that. Then her only response is judge me on my performance. But when we go to judge her on her performance, she's not performing where she ought to perform. She's performing in some films. Now Ashok says that these are prior commitments. I understand. Did she tell Ashok that after this commitment is over, she will never do any shooting?
No, she is not doing. She has not signed. She told me, being a minister, do you want me to perform in a ministry?
And she committed that she will never ever get into films till the time she's minister.
No,
So I want to know that, because if she's going to sit in Bombay shooting for a film and RSS is going to make my education policy, I'm not happy with that. I'm not voted for RSS. I voted for Modi.
Shehzad,
That's what
had
Shehzad-
ever Congress questioned Raj Babbar that being a member of
Raj
parliament,
Babbar
just listen to me.
You are not a minister.
Being a member of parliament,
Minister,
being a member of
parliament.
parliament, there is so much of work in the constituency, but you have got a lot of time for acting. So what has happened?
No, Ashok,
Lost the election badly.
No, Ashok.
So it is going. It is going.
No, Ashok.
You're comparing a minister and an MP.
Shehzad,
No.
Shehzad has very valid concerns.
No, but
Shehzad, you have very valid concerns. I appreciate those concerns. But please judge Smriti Irani as the HRD minister with the performance. She has the capability and the capacity to deliver. If you try and trip her on every step and try and question every step, you have to give her time to perform. And yes, she will perform because the party has immense faith and there's entire backing with the kind of mandate she's got. And she's proved her ability in espousing causes which matter to constituents.
Shehzad,
Her performance in the military campaign was very
give them a time. Give them a time. Shehzad, give them a time.
Let him speak.
Come again,
See,
coming.
Ijaz, if you keep saying this word tripping, the role of the opposition is not to trip. If that is the role you saw of your party in the last 10 years, I think that there's something wrong. We are just highlighting issues that the people ought to know about. Don't you think it's necessary that people should know what their minister is doing apart from his ministerial task?
I
It's
understand.
not a question of tripping. So please don't do that. It's quite democratic.
I'm enjoying the fact that this government is running very, very fast, which is why you have the ability to trip.
You are
In
supporting
comparison-
us, you change your stand. That's what tripping was. That tripping is not when we highlight something
No,
which is in public
I agree with
interest.
you. I'm using the word tripping because this government is is running with its feet forward and trying to do a lot of things with
Let's
the
see how
mandate it's
forward you've
got.
run in Delhi. You've already given us power cuts and taken us 2 decades behind.
You can't blame the storm. You can't blame the storm on the BJP.
I'm not
Sheh-
full lazy.
No,
Okay,
you can't
okay,
blame a
okay.
storm on the
I
BJP.
think,
No, no, I think
I
we
think
are-
we are digressing from the
let us
topic,
come back.
Shehzad. I
stick
think
to
we are
Smriti.
digressing a little bit from the topic. The point was to find out the journey, to trace back the journey of Smriti Zubin Irani from being Smriti Malhotra, from coming from a humble background. What made Narendra Modi choose her as a cabinet minister? A lot of people, because she actually went on a hunger strike in 2004.
If you ask me the inside story,
A fast-
my friends in BJP may not agree because that may go a little bit. Modi is looking for a substitute to Sushma Swaraj. And there is no better substitute to Sushma Swaraj than Smriti Irani because of her oratory.
But there's Shaina NC. She
Shaina,
speaks well.
Again, Shaina speaks well, but she doesn't have that public performance. See, speaking well, there are so many good speakers in BJP. But at the same time, you have to be a public figure as well.
She's a public figure. She comes from a political family.
She comes from a political family, but she is not as big public figure as Smriti Irani is. There are two aspects.
Then we come back to the
then,
same point, Ashok.
Then
Do you think
again,
it was her
Smriti,
her image?
We have seen only Smriti contesting 2 elections. Nobody has seen Smriti doing series of rallies in Chhattisgarh, Madhya Pradesh, not in this Vidhan Sabha election, last Vidhan Sabha election. I have seen her going to the remote area, district wise, and talking in the local dialect. So China has not done that. She has not come out of Mumbai. She is a Mumbai's face. But Smriti Irani has become a rural face of that India because of her film. Then going to the rural region, talking. I have attended her rallies. That's what I'm not saying that she is. That is when opening remark I said she has lot many qualities of a good leader.
Right.
So when Modi want to build a new team, I am also sure Modi is not looking for a 15 years tenure.
And the
After
youngest-
5 years, he will be in a bracket of 70.
So, and she's also the youngest cabinet minister.
After 5 years, the nation may question him. Now you are above 70, Mr. Modi. Advani was above 70. He had to be at home. You be at home. So if in that case, Modi need to have his second team.
Right.
So he is grooming the people. When you groom people, you cannot take again another people from 60s and groom them for 5 years. So he is looking for another 10-15 years.
Yes.
So that is what
A
BJP is
younger
doing
face.
strategy. I pray Congress should go on that. I pray.
Right.
I pray a Congress should go on that because the general secretaries Congress have. They are all in a, means after I think 10 years you will have all ambulances waiting for the people to be carried back home.
Right. Let's get Sanjeev Ratna Singh joining us, senior journalist joining us from Delhi. Thank you, Sanjeev, for joining us at the conversation on India Post Live. Your views about Smriti Irani's journey and what makes her such a controversial appointment by so many critics and observers and analysts seem to, crack holes and pin out weaknesses in her appointment.
I don't think there's any controversy as such, but I missed the first part of the conversation. But there is a general impression that Smriti Irani, in a scenario in the BJP where there were a lot of leaders, but there was no clear leadership in the middle between 2008 onwards. That is when she played the cards well. She got an entry because of her background in TV and doing that serial. But after that, she's made the right moves. And she also decided to be a part of the Narendra Modi camp or his team early on. So she chose where she is going to go within the BJP early on, and that is why now what we are seeing is that she is reaping the benefits of it. Also, the other point that Ashok sir was mentioning is the fact that she's gone to various places. She has done what the party wants her to do. If you look at her going to Amethi and fighting and putting up a good fight. That's also been one of the traits of Smriti Irani. So, I think she's a very thinking politician. She already knew which course the BJP is going to go from 2008 onwards. And that is why, with her playing her cards well, today she is one of the youngest HRD ministers this country has seen.
Shehzad?
No, I think that from the days of Smriti, when she wanted to go on a fast against Narendra Modi, and she said that, I will go on a unshan because we've lost the election because of Narendra Modi. And these are, Ijaz may try to say that this didn't never happen, but Times of India and all the reports, recordings are there. So from those days of political naivety to working her way up in the organization in such a way that even after losing 2 elections and not contributing that much in the political sphere as such, she's reached the position she has. She's chosen the right camps. She's been on the right side. She's far more evolved than Advani ji in her political thinking. Therefore, Advani ji does not even have a room in parliament, and she has the biggest ministry in this country. So I think Smriti is a fantastic political operator. I give her all credit for that, from coming from where she has. But I would not support her if she lies on her affidavits. I will not support her if she becomes a part-time minister and allows RSS to do her job.
Right.
That's not.
So a proxy minister, that is what the big concern that Shehzad is raising.
The political dividend that Smriti Irani enjoys is totally in sync with the demographic dividend of young India. So one has to, I acknowledge what Shehzad is saying, but the fact is, you evolve. Politics is dynamic. Every situation is dynamic, and she's worked her way. She's earned her spurs within the party by campaigning effectively across the Hindi heartland. She's an effective communicator. She has the knack to connect with the people at a one-on-one level, which is very, very important. And the party is promoting a lot of the second line of leadership, as Mr. Wankhede spoke about. It's very important to understand that the political party is the one that wins the power, and you have a Prime Minister who has the prerogative to choose his ministers. I think he's chosen well, and we must give her time to perform, and I think there's immense capacity and capability. Let's see what time foretell.
Right.
The problem with us, Prachi, in this total political scenario, instead of performance, we look of the certificate that those affidavits were wrong. She lied there. She spoke against Modi. Now Rahul Gandhi tears of
Ordinance.
ordinance. And
Passed
then
by
he,
the cabinet.
no,
Yes.
then he accepts that he made a mistake. So
That's forgiven.
the country has accepted it. Okay, fine. Everybody makes a mistake. You accepted. Priyanka Gandhi had 2 din. She said by mistake it has happened. Country has accepted. Okay, fine. Everybody makes a mistake. We make a mistake. He makes a mistake. You make a mistake sometime. So let us not highlight those mistakes. She, being a minister, let her perform. After 1 year, we can have the same discussion. And then we can say, see, these were the qualities that she failed.
Right.
So let us give some a chance.
Right. Let's get
That's only. I am of the opinion if the country has given mandate to Modi, I also criticize Modi number of times. But no, country has given him a mandate. Let him run the country the way he wants.
Right.
If he gets a good result, we are not anti-nationals. We want this country to grow.
Ashok.
If country grows, we are happy.
Ashok.
If country gets other way around, dips inside, we will be the first person to shout at him again.
As a political worker, I don't suffer from short-term amnesia. If you don't deliver, we'll get decimated like the Congress was decimated. So it's very, very clear that there's an agenda to perform and an agenda to do. If we don't deliver, we will get decimated.
Problem with BJP is that you keep on changing your posture. When you are in opposition, you suffered from all those things which the Congress is suffering now. When you are in power, now you want Congress to not to suffer with the same things which you are suffering.
Let's get final comments from Sanjeev Singh. Sanjeev, what do you think is the way ahead? Then a big challenge for Smriti Irani to not just take her critics along with her in trying to be a full-time HRD minister, but also to make sure that she proves herself to the party leadership as a second line of party leadership for the future political career.
See, this is a test of loyalty, whether she can deliver on the promises of Narendra Modi. And secondly, while doing that, can she actually step out into her own? Because right now, she's seen as someone, who's very close to Narendra Modi and proximity to the Prime Minister, which is why she's got this portfolio. So not only does she have to win the trust by doing good things in the ministry according to the Prime Minister, but also move out of a shadow and prove to the world that she is more than just being a proxy of the Prime Minister. But apart from that, the immediate challenge that she will face, which is likely to happen, is that the Congress is likely to rake up this issue of 2 different affidavits in 2 elections that she contested. That is likely to get involved into a legal tangle, and if that happens, then there's going to be a problem for her, because it's pretty clear that she's mentioned 2 different things in the affidavits, and the sort of indication that we're getting is that the Congress is likely to raise that issue. So she'll have to first do firefighting on that front, and then perhaps perform in the ministry.
Right. Final comments from you, Shehzad, before we wrap up the show.
Well, I second most of what Sanjeev has said, and I'm fairly okay to acknowledge that we need to give some time to Smriti to perform in the ministry. But if there are discrepancies like filing false affidavits or of her not paying as much attention as she should, then even if we are called to be tripping the ministry or tripping the government, we will do it because that's our job. So I think Ijaz better be tying up his laces, because we will try to trip them on every front that is legitimate and on public interest. So better be bracing yourselves up for that.
Shehzad, I want to say one thing. There's a शेर in Urdu कि गिरते हैं शहसवार मैदान जंग में वो तिफल क्या गिरे जो घुटने के बल चले. Okay, the fact is we are running very, very hard. We intend to work very, very hard, and we need to perform. And you are entitled to find, if you are wanting in any way, please expose us, please trip us in using my own language. But the fact is, the minister and various ministers who enjoy the prerogative of the appointment to the Prime Minister, they need to be empowered by the party and everybody else to work effectively as per the mandate, and ultimately the people of this country who voted will decide whether she's done a good job based on her performance.
Right.
Very well said. बहुत अच्छा शेर कहा. गिरते हैं शहसवार मैदान जंग में. जंग अभी शुरू नहीं हुई, उसके पहले भी शहसवार गिर जाए
It's not
तो
fair.
फिर वो not fair. So उनको भी देखना पड़ेगा. They will have to see that they hold the horse by the neck. And another thing is that Congress will have to be very cautious. If you have got 2 affidavits, the BJP have got 2 DIN numbers of Priyanka Gandhi. So there will be equal competition.
Right.
So it's a game of politics. So you have to answer those questions when you are questioning somebody. These are the things. But for being a political observer, what I find, once whoever in this entire cabinet, whether he performs or don't performs. The entire blame is going to go on Modi. The way government is being run, the entire ministry is being put on their toes to work hard. So Modi is doing everything. So if something goes wrong, Modi will be responsible.
Right.
The country gains, Modi will get the fruit of the entire exercise.
Right. On that note, we'll thank all our participants and guests here in the studio, Dr. Ijaz Ilmi and Mr. Ashok Wankhede, also Shehzad Poonawala and Sanjeev Ratna Singh for that great lively discussion. It'll be a challenge, of course, for Smriti Irani to make sure that she takes her critics along the way, but will she be able to try and dissuade the RSS agenda from cropping up into the education reforms? A big task ahead for her. We'll have to wait and watch what will be the big agenda and priorities for Smriti Irani as the HRD minister in the weeks and months ahead. Do write into us with your questions and queries and comments on this show, and we'll take it forward on our Twitter handle @IndiaPostLive.com, @IndiaPostLive, and our website IndiaPostLive.com. Thank you so much for all of you for joining us. Do stay tuned for more interesting conversations on this web TV. Goodbye.